It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is time for your Yee Tea. All right, Tiana Taylor, according to Us Weekly, has to pay her ex-husband, Iman Shumpert, $70,000 because she allegedly violated that divorce order willfully by spilling prohibited information that was in an Instagram video that was posted on March 19th. Now, she tried to argue that Iman Shumpert himself leaked details to the press, but the court was not convinced about that. Sean Kingston has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for that $1 million fraud scheme after being convicted in South Florida. So that is quite unfortunate for him. He and his mother were arrested in May 2024. A SWAT team actually raided his mansion that he rented in Fort Lauderdale, and they were taken into custody during the raid. So, 3.5 years. All right, now let's talk about Amanda Seale. She did this whole 20 versus 1. That was 20 black conservatives versus her. This is on Jubilee, and it's called Surrounded. And here is kind of a summary of the claims that Amanda Seale is debating on this.
My first claim is it is undeniable that reparations are just and necessary. My next claim is that black-on-black crime is a result of underinvestment and over-policing. My next claim is systemic racism isn't a theory. It's our lived reality backed by data and history. My final claim is black conservatism fails to meet the needs of the working class.
It's interesting because when you look at what it's called, right, it's called one black radical versus 20 black conservatives. I don't know that I consider this to be quote unquote radical. I feel like when people use the word radical, that alone makes people feel like she's saying something wild. Now, here was one of the debates that were had during this episode. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes on Jubilee. And this is her talking about the music industry. She's arguing with a black conservative where he's basically saying that it is black people pushing this narrative, is what we're consuming and what we're putting out there. And a lot of people would say hip hop promotes violence, it promotes misogyny. Well, here is what that argument sounded like.
Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying.
You're right. Who's we?
Who's the black community?
Who controls the
black community?
Who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in? And who takes it in?
Listen, if you're okay, so let me put it in this context. If I have a company and you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day, that's also going to determine how you exist in this company.
All right. So, a great time. It's very frustrating to watch. So I got to give it up to Amanda Seale for even putting herself in that position, because I know a lot of people would have lost their mind, but she kept it cool. I actually texted her about it over the weekend, and she said, it was really just about having these debates with people who have a different point of view than you do. And she said towards the end, though, she felt like they came to some type of understanding. And part of it was she was getting interrupted a lot. And here is another clip where she had to explain what happens in a debate.
Well, here's what you all keep doing. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. If I show you respect, give me the respect back. Ooh, I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance, but damn.
All right. Well, that was Yee Tea. When we come back, we have About Last Night, where we discuss what we did last night. I told y'all I am struggling today. Mano is struggling so much, he didn't even show up. We'll talk about it. It's Way Up. Here's some Lil Baby.